And then I just became really good at cooking chicken. And then it was all I was cooking was just chicken every night.
Georgia Lines loves chicken.
I do!
This is very special because right now, joining us for Checked In or Checked Out in celebration of her album, The Guest House, Georgia Lines, everybody.
Hey!
So essentially how this works is, it's like this or that.
Yes.
So checked in or you're checked out of it, okay?
Okay.
Room service.
Oh!
Or cook it yourself, checked in or checked out.
Is this like on an everyday basis? Is this when I'm staying at a hotel?
This is when you're at the guest house.
When you're at the guest house. Okay, when you're at the guest house, I feel like I'm gonna go cook it yourself. Like you just collect a bunch of things from the garden and you're very like cottagecore vibes and you've, you know, got some apples off your tree and you've made yourself an apple crumble.
Okay, well whilst you're cooking, most of the time, or I do, I put a good song on. Which song would you put on from the guest house whilst
From
you're
my
cooking?
own project, I think it would probably be Limoncello. I feel like it just fits the vibe. You're just kind of in your own little space. Maybe you're cooking pomegranate roasted chicken. It was the only meal that I would make for a very long time. I was like, I need to make something else because I've had this every night this week.
No, but this is my theory, once you nail something, you do it.
I know, I used to be terrified of cooking chicken because I was like, I'm just gonna get some sort of salmonella, vomiting, food poisoning thing. And then I just became really good at cooking chicken. And then it was all I was cooking was just chicken every night.
Georgia Lines loves chicken.
I do!
Okay, in this guest house, are we checking in early or checking in late?
Am I checking in early? I'm probably checking in early. I'm answering my own question and then I'm doubting my own answer because with this project, there was no deep desire to be in the guest house. Like it was like you found yourself there. You've kind of stumbled upon this place that you're like, well, I have to be here now. And I'm here for a period of time and I need to learn everything I can from the guest house. So I'm probably checking in late. However, if I was going on a little staycation, I'm checking in early.
Staying in to journal or going out to explore?
Maybe I'm staying in to journal. I'm checking in with the journaling. Very, self-reflective, trying to embrace the guest house and the fire and the crumble that I somehow made magically from the apple tree that did not exist, all of these things. So I'm checking into the journaling.
I honestly had a feeling you were going to pick journaling. And I don't know, I think it's just because when I think about you, I think about like deep lyrics. And so that's why.
I'm a big journaler.
Yeah, you are?
Yeah, every day. Always writing the internal world, what's happening, what am I thinking, what am I feeling, what am I struggling with, what am I feeling like. I don't know, every day is kind of different. Always journaling.
How often have those journal entries turned into lyrics in the song?
I don't know if there's ever been any specific lyrics. There's been times where I go, oh, that's an interesting thought. And it's kind of developed into a lyric or an idea, but most of the time the processing that my journaling is processing. So much of that, I feel like you probably hear the end product in the song and you hear the journey in the songs, but it's not necessarily specific lyrics of like, Dear Diary, today this happened. Not that I'm writing Dear Diary, but there was a time that I was doing the Dear Diary,
Big city buzz or small town quiet?
I think if I was living in the guest house and we continue the theme of like everything that I've answered through, I would say small town, cottage, the secluded, quiet ability to kind of reset and be by yourself. However, with the option of driving into the city and being able to do things and explore and, not have to necessarily grow your own veggies, but you can go to the supermarket. It's very specific.
Get some Cocoa Pops if you want.
Get some Cocoa Pops if you want. You don't have to have potatoes dug up from the ground every day for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
In the past, I have been lucky enough to see you in an intimate setting, and I know how amazing it is seeing you live in an intimate setting. One I regret not going to is 100% when you performed Under the Stars.
Oh!
Because that's just not something that happens all the time. When it comes to live shows, are you checking in to a more intimate, beautiful setting like that? Or are we checking out and keen for something in a different realm of your choosing?
I mean, the Civic Show was one of my most favourite things. Yeah, it was so special, and it felt like a very career-defining moment. You know, myself and my team, like, we curated that show. So the Auckland Live team had come to us and said, look, we want you to be a part of the Cabaret Festival and the closing night. You know, can you come back to us with some ideas about what you might like to do? And so then we were like brainstorming and trying to come up with like what would be really special and something that, you know, I haven't done and we haven't really seen done, and hence why we wanted to do the Under the Stars moment, where it was complete darkness and the audience sat in darkness with the star sequence on, and we played behind the curtain. So it was like, you know, some people it was the worst thing in the world because they were like, this, I didn't know what to do, and it's just all of the senses, like all I could do was focus on hearing, and I couldn't look at anything, and I kind of panicked. And other people were like, this is the best thing in the world, and how have we never done a show like this before? So it was really quite amazing and quite, I think just my favourite thing that we've done. Like, it was really, really cool and cool bringing all of the artists into that space. And so I would be checking in. I'm checking in to that.
Georgia Lines, thank you so much. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me.